Hello and welcome to Rev Sports. I'm Shorjani Chatterjee and joining me is Trisha Ghoshal. Now, everybody who's watching this show and wondering where Snehashish is, he will be back tomorrow. He will do the pre-show and the post-show tomorrow onwards. Today, he's just a little busy. But the point is that the 100 tournament has already begun. Today was the second match. It was between Southern Brave and Welsh Fire. Now, if I have to talk a little about the match, then I would say that at one point we all thought that it was, going in the favor of Southern Brave. But then I just don't. Sorry, it was going in the favor of Welsh Fire actually. Then in the last moment, Southern Brave just changed the whole momentum. Rorin Bell came in, took those crucial wickets. Sophie Molinu. Um, Once again, Jemima's form is a concern. We all have a lot of questions that we need to discuss. But before that, Trisha, what I want to ask you is that for the World Cup, also you have covered the matches. You've seen Sophie Molinu today with the bat, those 22 runs, and then again with the ball coming in and taking those wickets, and then helping her team win, playing a captain's knock. However, one of those wickets came in a full toss, and it was the lower order batters that were getting
Yeah.
dismissed. However, Sophie Molyneux did have a big impact on the game today. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I think, most importantly, as a captain, she had a huge impact. I thought she got the bowling changes absolutely spot on. Honestly, you know what? When Sophie Molyneux was actually made the captain, it was on the basis of how she had led a franchisee team, right? Because she did not have the experience or was never the vice captain, was not really the vice captain of the team. That was Talia Megra. But be it the World Cup or be it after that, I think she has been extremely, extremely impressive as a captain, and that has shown today as well. The bowling changes that she got on, absolutely spot on. As far as her batting is concerned, I thought she came up a little higher than she generally does for Australia, but did manage to play well because see, at one end, Laura Woolward was stuck. Literally, she was stuck. She was playing a good knock, but then uh, the runs were not good enough. With the rate at which she was scoring was not good enough. That is where I thought Sophie Molyneux's innings actually made was way more significant. A 16 ball 22, and that partnership in itself. Because look, after the opening, after the opening partnership, or if you look at the partnerships, you will see none of them actually crossed 30, other than that Sophie and Laura won, which is where, again, her batting was important. And her bowling, ever since she has, started bowling in the World Cup, she has been getting wickets. Today, too, as you said, the wicket came off full toss. One of the wickets came off full toss, but that was way, way too nice. I mean, way too late. So it's just fine. She can't help it if people get out of, in full tosses. But I think at one point for me, Jemmy with the bat, of course, she has carried that horrid form. She would want UK to, probably want to forget this UK tour. But I thought the Freya camp run out. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, you want to say this because it's Jemmy," but the truth is, the Freya camp run out was extremely crucial, and it came at that point where the Welsh Fire was just running away with the game. They were 80 for one, just 59 balls, and there was only going to be one winner from there on. That Welsh Fire was winning. But that one run out, and she had not collected the ball, at one go. It had actually hit her thigh, I think, and went behind. The quick recovery, that direct throw, because I doubt if she had thrown it to Lizelle Lee and she had picked it up, it would have taken a little more, those fraction of a second. So
Yeah.
some contribution. I'm just glad, in fact, this reminds me that Mithali in her interview or somewhere in a tweet, in a Twitter, some response to captaincy or something had said she saves at least 20 runs every single game. Today, think of this, that her impact actually is nothing. If you look at it, she doesn't bowl. She just scored 4 runs, and then this run out, which completely changed the face, complete change the momentum of the game. So, glad that some contribution has come from an Indian.
No, Patricia, now that you follow DC in the WPL, I wanted to ask you
Now
about these
I
three
always
players.
followed DC. No, after the
Now
first 2 years, the first 2 years I was Gujarat Giants.
I have questions regarding the three players, Laura Wolvart, Lizelle Lee, and Jemima Rodriguez. Now, you've mentioned a little about Laura Wolvart and a little about Jemima in the previous answer. But Lizelle Lee, I mean, she's not playing international cricket, but
Hmm.
every time she goes out and she plays this explosive format, we see the kind of impact she has on the game. What are your thoughts on her knock today?
Yeah, well, I think first of all, I had seen, you know, Lizzie Lee. I think because she does not play a number of formats, just takes a little more time to open up and play that Lizzie Lee sort of an innings because she's a brilliant batter, and not only a brilliant batter, a power hitter. Like she can hit the ball miles with her raw power, but I also feel that today she began rustily. That's because she does not play a lot of matches. Shorjani, think of this. You were a player, Now, for how long have you not played? Sorry,
Three,
personal
4 years?
question. But
Three, four
three, four
years.
years.
More than
Yeah,
that, maybe.
yeah. I mean, say 5 years, and if I suddenly give you the ball and say, you know what, the line length, everything has to be correct. For Lizzie, of course, it is not that big. But when you're not playing continuously, not playing bilateral series or not playing any such international games, then you're just playing franchisee to franchisee. She played WPL. She's playing the 100. She'll play WBBL as well. It takes a little time, but then again, I think Lizzie Lee is superb. Um, as a wicket keeper too, at times she surprises you because again, the structure, of course, is not such that you can say that,
There's
oh,
a
you know
certain
what, a
stereotype
wicket keeper.
attached to athletes. There is a
Yeah, yeah,
certain stereotype that is
absolutely, absolutely. But
attached.
I think she's brilliant. I think she's brilliant. She's always so energetic on the field. Even during the run out, she was clapping her hands, jumping, and she ran towards Jemmy. So yeah, I would want Lizelle to score a little faster because she already has the cushion of a Laura Woolwart there. So Laura is somebody around whom the entire batting lineup can play. And Jemmy can play that number four, where depending on where is she coming in the game. If she's coming in the game before the first 10 overs, then she has to play that, take runs, settle in, has to be better running between the wickets, hit the gaps, take runs, settle in. But if she's coming a little later, then she can throw the throw the bat around, try and play some of those cute strokes because you already have backing and batters who can really finish the game big.
Even with Laura Bulba, the thing is, she has been struggling. I mean, if you look at the scorecard, you will see runs coming in. But the issue is that in the shorter format of the game, it is not coming in at the expected rate. I mean, definitely somewhere or the other, like you mentioned in your answer also, it is slowing down. But Trisha, you've covered the World Cup. You've seen them play this explosive format for so long. What I wanted to ask you is that where do you think is Laura Boulevard and Jemima Rodriguez as individual batters going wrong?
See, they are having two different problems. One is Laura Woolward, and that's how you would know that Woolward is going to end as an absolute legend of the game, because Woolward is actually going through a poor run. It's not a technical issue, it's nothing, it's a poor run. And think of this, in a poor run she's scoring 40s consistently. So when she's not in poor run, god help her opponents. But with Jemmy, I think I have said this even during the World Cup, um, she's just trying to hit every ball to some place where nobody knows. And I just think she's trying to manufacture a game that she does not have. She was doing this, if you can remember, she was doing similar sort of she was going through a similar sort of a batting patch when she was initially shifted to number five because she was trying to adjust to that role. I think now she's trying to adjust to the number four role. That has also played a huge part in Jemmy not being able to convert the innings. But for how long? For how long can she keep trying to adjust to the number? I think a batter like Jemmy, by not scoring runs, is not helping her own self.
Before moving on to what went wrong for Welsh Fire, what I wanted to ask you is that Heather Graham, 4 wickets, coming in, taking those crucial wickets, bowling, and it was a pleasure to watch her bowl today. What are your thoughts?
I think always medium pacer bowling well is something you will always enjoy. You might not. I obviously do, but Heather Graham is that kind of a bowler who, I mean, that kind of a player rather, who actually assures Australia that, say for example, tomorrow Talia Magra anyway does not get a chance in the playing 11, but if you need somebody to replace that Talia Magra or even Nicola Carey, I will actually go one step ahead and say Nicola Carey in the playing lineup, playing 11. Sorry, you have a Heather Graham. I think she bowls well. She can finish games well, which is where when someone like her starts getting wickets, that kind of validates the point that it also kind of scares you that think of this: if Nicola Carey does not play the next T20 World Cup, you already have Heather Graham.
Absolutely. Moving on to the next team, Trisha, how good was Georgia Wall today? Because we saw that the moment she got out, the whole batting order kind of collapsed. I mean, obviously the Freya camp run out also, comes into question. But the point is, how good was Georgia Wall? Because you've seen her play throughout the tournament. You've
Yeah.
seen her play. You know the way that, she adjusts to the bowlers. How good was she today?
Yeah, so I think I'll be very honest. When Georgia Wall in the Australian lineup was given the role of Aliza Healy, and Beth Mooney came up to open the batting in place of Phoebe Litchfield. You and I also have had conversations about this. That you know what, Wall and Litchfield should open, but this is where she has adapted very well, and I would say pretty fast. And kudos to the Australian management, because I remember in one of the interviews, Georgia Wall had said, I have to be more aggressive because I have to have the scoring rate like Healy did. So it is something they had spoken in the camp. It is something that was clear in the team meetings that, you know what, this is your role and this is how you have to go about it. And Georgia Wall kind of batters are always good to watch when they're scoring runs. And I think this is just the beginning of one of the leading batters of Australia. Healy has got a, in fact, I would say that Wall can play both ways. Healy couldn't have played that both the gears, the gear one and gear six, but Wall can. So I think apt someone to kind of take her shoes. But yeah, again, Wall was very good. Freya Kemp, again, Shorjan, if you look at all the players who are doing well, you will have to take one step back and think of it. Freya Camp 6 months ago, injured, a lot of things not going, her way. And the head coach of the team comes and tells you, you know what, you can't bowl, I'll take you as a batter. Freya Camp initially was only a leg side batter. And then when I saw her in this T20I series, I was like, wow, she has got those offside strokes as well. And then she started bowling. Overall, suddenly she became that package. And I was, because I was there in the series, got a chance to kind of talk to Charlotte Edwards about Freya Kemp, and the confidence in that voice. If I am a player, I want that confidence from my coach. She said, I knew she has to be part of my best 11. Can you believe it? We are still searching for our best 11. World Cup is long over. We are still searching for our best 11. And this
The
is
number five
second
spot,
T20.
especially.
Sorry?
The number five spot, especially. We don't
Yeah,
know who's
number
coming.
3, 4, 5, we are still searching for 3, 4, 5. Who should be there, right? But Charlotte Edwards was very clear. She said, "You know what? I knew that I have to have Freya in my best playing 11. If not with the ball, with the bat, but I also knew I'll make her bowl 2 overs at least." And then she was good enough, like, she recovered quickly enough to bowl 4. Freya Camp in her press conference also mentioned that when she was recovering, Charlotte Edwards's voice kept her going. Where Edwards kept said, "We have confidence."
That kind of
You know, yeah.
definitely that boosts your confidence as well. But Trisha, last question before we move on to the comments. Lauren Bell, you've
We have
seen
to
her
take
throughout the World
comments
Cup.
later on because I have to attend another program. Sorry,
Oh,
please.
my apologies. But what I wanted
Yeah.
to ask you is that Lauren Bell, you've seen her throughout the series. You've seen her in the World Cup. You've seen her in the Test match. I think it's a personal opinion. I think she has been a little inconsistent because,
Yes.
in some matches her line and length have not been good. She heavily relies on the swing, but we've seen her ball wide balls as well. Today also,
Yeah.
when she came in towards the end, she had not taken a wicket yet, but then taking those two crucial wickets. So, how do you see Lauren Bell developing and evolving as a bowler?
I think when Lauren Bell had started off short journey, she was mainly a in swinger. Then she developed the out swinger as well. She's improving. She's someone who likes to improve on herself, and she has a long way to go. Um, she plays a lot of franchisee cricket, of course, WPL and then WBBL. This, I think, as a pacer, she has got variations. Where I think she goes, inconsistent is the fact that she's still not, she has not matured enough to know when to use those, when to use those. Sorry, somebody wrote something on Mithali and my I got distracted. And the point is I think she still needs to know when to use those variations, when to use the slowers, when to use the slow bouncers, but she has it all. I think a fantastic bowler. And if you ask me, I've been more disappointed with the way she has bowled with the new cherry than with the old one.
Makes sense. So, Trisha, do you still have time to continue the live, or should we come back again next
Are,
day and then
are you
keep the discussion?
frozen or am I frozen? What happened?
I think in my screen you are frozen. Yeah, can you see me, Trisha? I think there's some issue with the net.
Yeah,
But on
I'm
that
back, I
note,
think.
yeah.
Yeah.
But on that note, we are going to end today's live because Trisha also has to attend another program. We'll take the comments next day, so
Yeah.
don't be upset. And Snehashish is going to be back, so it's going to be a full house. Till then, please keep on watching Rev Sports and please like, share, and subscribe because we will keep our coverage on. But on the other hand, Trisha is also there at Glasgow covering the Commonwealth Games. So please ensure that you watch all the lives, that you like and share all the videos that are coming through there. Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Sure.